I've been waiting for this day since his new book came out. He's the author of the New York Times bestselling Red Rising trilogy, which people actually around the world are calling the next Hunger Games.
Wow.
Okay, please welcome Chris
Wow.
Brown. That's quite a thing. When you hear stuff like that, doesn't that go, oh my gosh, when you hear, it's the next Hunger Games.
Well, it's a bit daunting, but it's amazing because Hunger Games is a book that got so many kids to read. And it's a book that got a lot of adults back into reading. Mm-hmm. So any comparison like that is just amazing for me, especially when they mix in, Star Wars meets the Hunger Games.
Right.
Or Game of Thrones meets the Hunger Games, because they add things that are some of my favorites into it.
Well, you started with Red Rising, then it was Golden Sun, and now you've done, I was just reading it. Oh my God, Morning Star. Yeah, I took it too hard. It's a part of your trilogy, but it wasn't really easy getting to this third book.
No, it was an interesting path. I mean, I was rejected by over 120 agents.
What does that
Are there
mean?
even that many out there?
I think they kept making them because it was over a 6-year period. So new agents keep being made just to
reject you.
To reject.
We need another one to reject.
Well, I've collected all the letters.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But they didn't reject Red Rising. There were other books that you've
So I wrote 6 books before then.
And they rejected them all.
So yeah, I started when I was 18 writing books, and I started this huge 700-page book, which should have been rejected. And then, I mean, most of them should have been. Imagine like a bad car crash. These are what these novels look like.
It was in the same genre, the science
same
fiction?
genre, but then also fantasy. I mean, I dared to write a thriller. I wrote a fiction book. Historical fiction book. So a lot of different genres, and then it all prepared me to write the book that actually meant something to me.
Well, what prepared you to keep on going? Because you were 24 when they published Red Rising.
That's right. Yeah.
So what was you got? Can you read one of the rejections you got from your author?
Yeah, it happened to bring one along with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. The funny thing is, the ones that sing the most are the ones that don't even really address what you've done. It's kind of the ones that just dismiss you. So it's like this. This one, though, was stung a little bit. So and this is a nice one.
And this is which book? What is your first
nice
book?
Or
your
this is my 7th book, Red Rising. So
okay.
Red Rising.
So this is one that actually got represented by an agent. It says, "Dear Pierce, thank you for passing along the pages of your manuscript, Red Rising. Truth be told, I'm afraid these pages just didn't draw me in as much as I had hoped." Cue me sobbing. I found myself unable to connect with the world or the main character. Cue me throwing down the letter. 5 minutes go by, I walk back over, pick it up. I'm sorry to be passing, but I wish you the luck in your search for representation. Cheers. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, cheers to you.
Not like condolences or something, just cheers.
Cheers. Go drown your tears.
Yeah, I'm imagining it's someone just like cheers. Well, we enjoy it on this side of the fence.
What was that like? I mean, so that was what, 129 rejections?
That was probably, actually, Red Rising got rejected about 25 times.
Okay.
So that was probably 24th or something like that. Yeah.
You were used to it.
I was used to it. I was jaded, but I still pouted,
But what was the turning point? Because I understand you took a whole bunch of odd jobs, including being a page at NBC.
Yes.
So pick up the story from there.
I mean, I'd done a lot of odd jobs. I'd worked on a political campaign for 8 months where I was the driver for the candidate. So this is a U.S. Senate campaign where $40 million was spent on this campaign. So it was a huge campaign. And so you didn't sleep for, 7.
And you gained a lot of weight.
Gained a lot of weight. Oh, yeah. Well, I looked back in a picture of me standing by the car and I was like, oh my God, who ate Pierce? And it was me, myself. And so I worked on a campaign for a while and was, not sleeping. I got to look on the inside of a campaign, which shows some of the politics in Red Rising. And then I worked a couple other odd jobs and then finally realized that I had to do something with my life. I couldn't just wait for the writing thing to happen. And so I gave up. And I realized that I had just 2 months to write something before I started my real job, which was coming down to LA to be an NBC page. And that's a real job, $10 an hour.
When did that happen to be a real job?
Real-ish job, yeah.
Is that you?
Oh, that's me in the middle, yeah.
Oh,
see, campaign weight? I could have used that last segment, yeah.
So I understand you were actually on assignment that day when you received a phone call.
Yeah, so I came down to LA, and then I was about 5-6 months into living in LA as a page, living on air mattress in Chatsworth, on my old political science professor's garage floor. And then I was I was basically waiting to hear back from Random House because they said that they were interested in buying the book, and we were negotiating, and I was giving a tour. And I was so excited that I got the call in the middle of the tour, and it was an hour-and-a-half tour. And I told everyone that I was with about these people from Iowa, and they just celebrated with me.
But you put the tour on hold.
I put the tour on hold
to take the call.
Priorities. Yeah.
What was that? What was the inspiration though for when you realized, okay, I'm going to follow my dream. I'm not going to give this up. didn't give up. That's what's so fascinating.
I think a lot of it is in the rejection. It's how you take it. You know, you either make it your friend and help make you better, or you make it, you know, you can let it destroy you. Unfortunately, I made it my friend. And then, you know, Red Rising itself came from, I was, you know, hiking with a couple of friends on a mountainside, and I'd been reading Antigone, which is my favorite Greek play. And that's actually taken that day. We were hiking, and you know, all crampons, boots, everything. And I was just kind of inspired by the natural wilderness, but also the story of a girl's 2,500-year-old story about a girl defying authority, you know, defying power. And so I thought about that in a futuristic setting, and that's where Red Rising came from.
Well, I read the last book, Morning Star, while I was on vacation.
You skipped the other two.
Well, because I really wasn't aware of it up until, you know, you became the New York Times bestseller. But I didn't read the last chapter on purpose because,
which is great. Don't.
I want to read the first two books, so I want to know how it ends. But reading this, you write like you were writing a screenplay. I see the movie in my head.
Which is helpful now, isn't it?
No, it really is. But it is so graphic. And I actually had to put it down several times just to catch my breath because it doesn't stop.
No.
I mean, I'm fascinated with how your mind works. You must have been an interesting child to raise. Yeah.
I mean, I think that my parents had to decide early on whether or not my weirdness was either a blessing or a curse. Unfortunately, they decided it was a blessing.
Yes, it is.
They kept helping pour me into creative endeavors. You know, they gave me a shovel and said, "Go dig a hole, build a fort in the woods."
And they gave you lots of books.
It was better than video games, you know, as a kid. Books were better because it helped my mind grow. You know, you got to be an active participant instead of just sitting back and letting the video game or movie tell you what's happening. Instead, it's a book you create in your head.
They're making a movie out of the trilogy. I understand you're working on a next trilogy.
Yeah, so next trilogy within the world.
Within the world,
takes place about 10 years later, but
we won't see for a while. You're going to go into a cave and write 16 hours a day.
Going to go into a cave. Yeah, right.
Okay, well, I just want to say that, you know, BuzzFeed said some really, let me see, I know we have, actually called you, this is what they did. They called him the hottest young adult author in the world. That's pretty heavy duty.
To which I'm just like, why just young adult?
Yeah, well, no, just, okay, so here's some, I've seen these things on your Instagram. There you are with your puppy. Is that your puppy?
Every time.
Yeah. And then there's another one that we have of you with BuzzFeed. Oh, okay. You're shirtless standing in front of a scenery. We didn't even know. Yeah, I didn't even look at, to be honest, I did not look at the scenery. Okay. And then the next one is, oh my goodness.
In-N-Out Burger.
You know that's my favorite, right, Mark? The In-N-Out
What is it?
Burger.
Oh, In-N-Out Burger. Of course, of course. If you're going to win Christina over, you've got to do it with a double-double.
That picture is really about the burger, though.
The burger. Well, you've certainly won me over. I love the book. It was fascinating. Thank you so much for coming here. Congratulations on all your success. And I have to give kudos to your mom, Colleen, for giving
Hi, Mama.
for always being so supportive. All right. You can follow Pierce on Instagram at Pierce Brown Official, or check out his website, redrisingbook.com, and for more info on his upcoming book tour. Now we're going to go into the kitchen. We're going to eat. I'm going to make some carne asada tacos for everyone.